All right, welcome back, everybody. We're going to hit some doubly linked lists. This is the list we're going to try to start off. We're going to hard code it, just set it up as is. And then once we figure out how to do the doubly linked list portion, we'll start looking at making methods and classes and shit like that. Unless Juan's been jumping ahead and doing this shit in his fucking study session. But I know not everyone goes. So here we have a list of names. So we're going to need a string. These obviously hold strings. We need our node. I guess I'll copy over node from something else real quick. That'll speed things up. But notice we've got a pointer. Oh shit, I can't move. I can move the mouse over here. Not only are we pointing from Abel to Baker, but we're pointing from Baker back again. Okay? So that's what we need to try to set up. I guess I don't need paper yet. I'll do paper in a second. Let's grab something from previous. That's ones, let's see. I'll come grab a node. Guess I need it all. No, I don't. Just come over here and put the node in. And I don't want our linked list class in there. I just want my methods. So where are the methods for node? Our linked list, our linked list. Where are the methods from node? Oh, there are no methods in node. Duh. It's just two things. All right, so we have we're not using a double here, we're using a string, so we need to include the string library. And I'm going to say string is, look like a name. So let's just call it name. Now, not only do we need a node, we need a node that points to the previous node. So we have our node with pointer to the next node, and we need a pointer to our previous node as well. So we're going to make a pointer to the previous node. That's what's different for a doubly linked list. And it kind of changes what we got to do later on. So let's go about setting this up. We have our list here, our head pointer. So maybe make a node pointer called head pointer, and we'll set it. Set it to the null pointer for a second. And then remember we were using a temp node. So new node. And we're going to populate this. The first person's name is Abel. So we're going to set in Abel. And then we're going to null pointer everything else. Temp.next, our temp.name is Abel. Temp.next is null. And temp.previous is also null. Okay, that's where I'm at right now. And we'll draw a picture of what we have so far. What's that picture look like? Go to the back of it, okay. So what we got right now is this. That's a pointer to a null. I have a pencil with me. Something I can erase as I'm going. Yes. And right now, that's a null pointer as well. That's what we have right now. Oh, and Tim's pointing to it. So the first thing we need to do is set head pointer to temp. So let's do that. Okay. All right, and then what was the next step when we were doing our singly linked list, when we wanted to make the next node after this? Does anyone remember how we made the next node?
First, I think we did like temp next node equals new node.
That's it. I knew one of you wouldn't let me down. Amatesh is always on top of this shit. Okay. So now we got a new node there. And I can set the name real quick. And it was Baker. So that's what I've added. I'll click over the screen in a second, give you guys time to process where we're at, because the next stop is some fucking gymnastics. Some computer science gymnastics going on shortly. Because normally, what we've done in the past is we've said temp equals temp next node. Okay? That's how we jump to the next train. Right? Let's come over here and look at what's going on over here. So we said temp next node was not going to be a null pointer anymore. It was going to point to a new node, and this new node was called Baker. That's what we have so far. And just keep in mind, where we're going after that, we're adding another node. Jones is after that one. And so our process is, like normally if temp is here, what we've done in the past is we've been here, we made the new node, we jumped nodes and made the pointer, right? But we need to be able to find a way to point backwards. So how can we point backwards? I can do it here if I jump ship right now. If I jump over here right now, I can always say temp previous node. Let me put it down below. Use something that shows up a little bit better. I can always say temp previous node equals head pointer. But that's only gonna work for Baker. What about the Jones node? Let's ignore what we have right here for Abel and go like, if I'm at Baker and I make the new node for Jones, how can I get Jones to point back to Baker? If I move temp over, I don't have an easy pointer to it anymore. That's the problem. If we jump to the next node before establishing this previous pointer, we don't have a pointer to the node anymore, other than just jumping along the train until we get to it. And that fucking sounds lame. So, what could we do from here to get that pointer back there?
Do these questions apply to me? I never know. I never really asked.
What?
Do these questions apply to me, or?
You can answer, but you should let everybody else try. I think Amitesh can figure it out.
Can we set it to 10, maybe?
Set what to temp?
Set Jones' previous node to 10.
How do I do that? That's what we want to do. We want to set Jones's previous node to temp.
So 2 pointers,
Do what?
2 pointers?
Like make a second temporary pointer?
Yeah.
We could. That's definitely a way of doing it. There's another way. I have pointers in play that show me the loop. This arrow here is next node. And that arrow there is previous node. Any ideas?
Save previous.
This lesson doesn't take as long. This is the one, what'd you say?
Save previous.
Say it again without someone coughing.
Save the previous node.
How do we save the previous node?
There we go.
Like I'm pointing at temp. How can I get to Jones so that I can set Jones's previous node without moving from temp? I don't want to move from temp. I want to stay on temp. I want it to stay here, but I want to be able to assign Jones' previous node to temp. That's what we're trying for right now. We want Jones's previous node to go to temp. All right. Any ideas from Kenny or V? You got no idea? Okay.
Wait, I could do temp dot next node dot previous node equals 10.
That's it? That's exactly it. So we're gonna do that. The gymnastics here are,
That's what gymnastics. Okay.
yeah, because you gotta jump ahead. Temp next node points us at Baker. That'll put our pointer at Baker. And then we're gonna say previous node, oops. Equals 10. Did I fuck some up?
I think you changed the name Able to Baker.
Able's up here.
Oh, because you haven't really transitioned to the next one.
No, I don't want to transition to the next one yet.
I'm saying you replace the name Able with Baker. Because you have to put that one below the.
I could put this here, but I don't need to. Oh, yeah, you're right, I do. Never mind, you were right. I had that shit all backwards. Thank you. All right, so now, and then it's still not in the right spot. It's gotta go after that. All right, so this it jumps from Able to Baker and points back and jumps back. It's like a boomerang. So we're literally just following the arrows. Let me put it back up on the screen and show you like what I mean by following the arrows. We had our pointer, this is our pointer right now. We have a pointer to next node. That was the first thing we created. Even before we put in Jones, which I put in Jones too early, the arrows tell us the path. In fact, the arrows are the way the fucking thing uses it in C++. We need another arrow pointing back. So follow the arrows. Temp dot next node dot previous node equals temp. So A is here, B is here, C is here. That's a B. That's a shitty B. Right? All right, we're missing something here. I jump to the next node. What else do I need here? Node had three things. It had the name, next node, and previous. I don't have next node for the new node set. So temp dot next. That looks funny. Wow, there's not even next at next. Equals, we want to set it to a null pointer real quick.
Oh, that's right. You did this from scratch, right? There's no constructor, so it's just.
Right.
Okay.
And we can make a quick print loop real quick by setting temp back to, nope, yeah, because this is just for printing testing. While temp dot next does not equal null pointer. Cout name is temp dot name. And then we gotta jump to the next node. Temp equals temp dot next node. And then you have to do one final cout. So I'm just making sure our two name list works right now. Name is Able, name is Baker, excellent. So that's where we're at right now. Line, this area right here starts the print loop to do verification. This is something that you'll have a method for in your doubly linked list class. Okay, so we would have to do this cycle again. When we make a new node, we're gonna say temp.next node equals a new node. What the fuck? I had override on, I hate fucking override. And then we gotta do those gymnastics. We start at temp, then we jump to next. And now we're on the next train. And we gotta throw a rope back to the previous train. And now we can jump over. Now that that previous node connection is met, we can jump over to next node. And we can set our name here to Baker. Our Baker's already set. And we need to do a null pointer here for the next. That's not how you spell null pointer. No camel case. So it's kind of handy. I kind of like doing the picture with, doing the picture will really help you when you're doing some of this shit. It's gonna help us when we're trying to figure out what we want to do when we want to add a node. Like make a class and add a node in the beginning and or in the middle and at the end and stuff like that. Let's check our list real quick. Got all three. Who was the next name? Smith and Wilson. So I could do what Professor Redden does and keep typing each fucking set of lines one at a time. Or I'm gonna do what you would do if you're clever and just fucking copy and paste. We can see that the line is repeating. There are 5 lines repeating here, where singly linked list only had 4 lines repeating. So the previous node, temp, next node, previous node, this is new for doubly linked list. In the forward direction. Run it, take a look at it. Any questions? All right. So let's go through and try to make this let's automate this. Let's make a class. And what were things we had in this? It doesn't want that. Okay. What do we have in the singly linked one? Just the head pointer, right? And we have a constructor. And we can set this a default right here to null. And maybe we need a get and a set method, right? Get head and set head. Get head should return a node pointer, but not take in anything. And set head doesn't return anything, but it takes in a node pointer. So let's go down and scope these out some. Okay, so I got them scoped. Maybe I'll say arg head here. And we'll say head equals arg head. Nope. We're gonna use get head, arg head. But we don't have get head set. That's where we set head. Oh, return head. That's not what I wanted to set there, is it? I wanted to do set head there. And head equals arg head. And we can make a print list real quick. Although in general, the print list shouldn't really go in this section. Print forward. It doesn't take anything. And we'll just copy this shit right there. And we're just gonna hijack our code. We got a loop right here. So let me just hijack the shit out of that. Come down here, put it in here. And the only thing I need to do to start it off with is say node pointer temp equals head pointer equals get head. All right, I got this set up. Let's come up here and install the linked list in our code. So we got Doubly linked list, my list, my DD list, my DL list. And so this would be my node, or not my node, my DLL set head Although, we have the default there. So I don't really need to do that, do I? This is already done in the default. I do need the temporary node though. What's changing is this right here. My DLL list dot set head. I'm gonna set it equal to temp. And now we don't need that line anymore. And that's all I need. Everything else will keep working as appropriate. Let me come down and do the print. Line 77 is getting pissy. Oh. Yeah, you're not supposed to have that. That might be the only thing. Let's see. Yep, there we go. So we're just fine. All right, so we hijacked our print code from the above. All we had to do was change node temp to equal get head. And it ran like we had before. We've got our accessor methods. Now we need to do like, let's automate this sumbitch. Okay. So it looks like maybe we should have it taken as string. So what should we call this? I know Redden like to argue for push or pop pushback because it looks like vector and shit like that. I'd rather ours look different. I'm not a big fan of that. I'm not returning anything. I'm just adding a node. So let's like add end node. And I should take in the string. I'm typing it in that string, our name. I mean, he has a good argument for it. I've talked to him about it. It gets you used to seeing pushback and stuff, but like then you start getting confused on what's yours and what's not yours. So let's come down here and drop this bad boy in. And we need to, ooh, I put that before. Let's scope it. We always got to scope it. Let's go hijack our code. Let's just copy and paste this shit and see what we need to do. Okay, I don't have a node pointer yet. We had something really handy from our singly linked list that I want to go hijack. I think things will be quicker if we do. Our linked list when we had it. We did this if temp null equals null pointer. This is how we got to the end. And we actually used part of it already. Here, this would be name. No, we do not want to see happening. That's the print cycle. We just want to jump. Okay, so we're adding a new node at the end. So we gotta start with our null pointer. Nope, temp shouldn't equal that. Temp should equal get head, right? temp should equal get head. If it's a null pointer, we do not want to see up the list is empty. We want to do something else here. This is where we'll add node once. Do I even need that? Yes, I do need this because if I try to do temp next node, previous node, on the very first node, when there's nothing there, it's pointed to the null pointer doesn't have a previous node. So we need to have a different loop for the first node. All node once. First node once. There we go. Null PTR doesn't have a previous node for our loop. So if it's the first one, we will say this part right here. I think we're going to say everything but that. We'll just set previous node to null pointer. That's what's got to happen for the first node. And name has got to be the input. Again. And we don't need jump to next node. We're not jumping to. Nope, first node is temp equals new node. There we go. That's more like it. So if you're confused on what you're doing there, I grabbed the fucking thing from the bottom of the list. Maybe I should have grabbed able from the top of the list. Able had make a new node, set the name, and set the pointers. That's what I should have grabbed. I'm gonna grab it right now. Right here. Let's just fucking set that shit right there. I just said temp equals new node. And I don't want to, what I want to do here is, yeah, temp equals new node, and then I don't want get head. There. Yeah, I do. I don't know, what do you guys think? Because here I reset. I need to set head to temp right now. That's what do I even need to do that? Yeah, I got it connected to the list. All this did was make the damn node, and set head to temp is how I get it attached to the head. So if I have the node up there declared as temp, I don't need to say node there. Now, let's look at the other ones we had for the other loops. So all the other loops were identical. So that's our first loop. Our if loop covers our first setup. Then we jump to the, I already pasted it. Then we jump to the end. If it's not the first loop, we jump to the end. And we say temp next node equals new node. And we do our gymnastics, and this is where argn goes there. Does that seem about right?
Should argn also go in line 94?
Yes, it should. I copied and pasted. And I didn't change that shit. Good call. I think that should work, so I should be able to go back and just keep saying add end node and put the new names in, and it should do the list. Does that seem right? we have, this is almost identical to our previous code, other than we didn't have this line. So this is new. And this is new. From our singly linked list. Let's go up and put it in the code. So I'll do my DLL add. I will add Bobby. I will add Clarice. Hello, Clarice. We're changing able. Put in a Amish. DLL, add in node, Dominic. That should be sufficient. Let me comment out all this other crap. I'll just delete it. And I don't even think I need this. I think I just needed my DLL. Why the fuck is that not auto completing? That's what we're testing, right? Let's comment that out. Comment that out. Cross your fingers. Hope it works. All right, good, excellent, sweet. So we can get rid of all that crap. All that was unnecessary. Started making it looking nice and clean. Looking clean. How do we print backwards? Let's make a print backwards. So these are print methods. Maybe these all mark these, flag these as node maintenance methods. We're going to add another print method. Print backwards. Okay, here we just want to jump to the end. I need to scope it. I love the red lines underneath it. It immediately tells me I'm missing some shit. I could love the red lines. They're like, you're fucking totally missing some shit. All right, so this is going to get me to the end. Then if I want to print backwards, maybe I should do while temp previous doesn't equal null pointer. See out the name and jump backwards. And I need a special case one for if it's an empty list. If it's empty list, it doesn't have a next node. So let's come up here and grab the, I probably need that for the print forward too. Look at this fucking slacker teacher. No, I don't need to copy it, let's just type it. I need to do it for both though. If temp.next node equals null pointer, we're gonna see out that the list is empty. Right? And that's what we should put in the backwards node too. So that does our little verification there. Jump to the end, then we got our print loop and we're printing backwards. Does that seem like a reasonable setup for this?
Wondering, should we return after testing for temp next node equals null pointer?
I think you, no, well, because on the backwards one, we actually want to start at the back. So we'll jump all the way to the end and then start printing backwards.
No,
On this one up here, you might have,
yeah, like on line 88, like, should we return after testing?
oh, yeah. Good turn, good call. And I should do that here, okay. Yeah, because the code's done, we don't need to do the rest. That was shit was gonna break if it was empty. Now let's come up and install a print backwards. Let me do a couple endls. Cross our fingers. Look at that. That's just beautiful. What else do we want? What do we have for our other one? We had print forward, print backwards. We had a tail node. I said add end node. I like tail node. The first one's called headed. Maybe calling this one tail is a better name. Control F. That's not the easy way to do replace. Where's replace? Control R. Someone knows the shortcut to replacing all.
Oh, Control F and then the corner.
And then what?
The little arrow that's going down on the other side. I will press and then.
Ah, okay.
And then there's like if you wanna do it for all of them or just one.
And change end to tail. Oh, nope. Shouldn't have done all.
You can highlight the entire thing, or only what you want as well. I can do that for you.
Do I have any end L's elsewhere? Yes.
Control Z works too.
What?
Control Z and it just reverses.
It's gonna undo everything though. I don't wanna undo everything. I already switched it. There's more here going on than I thought. A fun son of a bitch. You're all over the place.
Yeah, if you like highlight the text or the lines that you want to replace only, and then say like
do that and then do that.
yeah.
I can't highlight more than one. Oh wait.
Like,
It is No, it isn't.
Or even the lines, if you go to the numbers and click and drag the lines, the numbers, like click and drag, like to home, you can do that, and then
Alright, I think I already got them all. Alright. So, back to our things, what do we have? We had tail node. Oh, we could find total nodes. And we want to add a mid node and a head node. Oh, we need our destructor too.
would it be a good idea to also set as like one of the private, as a node pointer for tail? For a Doubly linked list?
I totally like the node pointer tail. I was gonna go there next. Let's do that after we get everything else, because it's a little, putting in tail makes the gymnastics a little bit harder. Only on a couple things. So we want to do a void add mid body node. But we need to know where. So maybe after a node pointer, taking a node pointer. Or after a certain string. Let's do that. String arg new. String arg to be followed. Void add head node. Like I'm thinking, where would I want to add a node? I wouldn't want to, like, think user side. The user doesn't want to have to fucking know where the nodes are. They want to go like, I've got Jones on the list. Juan comes after Jones. I just want to put in Jones and do like Juan next. Right? I don't even know if that's a good setup, but we need something. Add head node, I think, is really what we have right here. Let me copy over from our add tail node and just do add head node and like see what we can edit. We already know. No. We still need that. So this is adding a head node when there's already a chain, already a list. So we might need, the base case one is fine. Let's come over to picture and take a look at what we want to have happen here. Hey, Eric. All right, so let's take a look at what we're doing here. We have head pointer, heads pointing at, we'll use able still. And able's pointing somewhere else, and we've got that right there. And there's more shit after this. What we want to do is to add the head node, we'll make a temp node here. And then what do we need to connect? Temps previous needs to get nulled out. So temp previous needs to be nulled. No, because we already have temp pointing at head. So it's not called temp. We need to say, there's going to be a new node here. We need this to point at that. And we need that to point at that. We might need a temp node in there. Like, let's put a name in there, Baker. So I can make a new node. I think it might even be easier to start off with saying, this is previous node. Nope. This one's previous node. We're working off of able because we want head to be right here. Let me fucking put the box in a better spot. We want the box to be right there. So maybe we say head's previous is new node. Previous equals new node. Which is fine if we've got it set to temp. So this is my temp. So I say head previous equals new node. Nope. Temp previous equals new node because temp was set to head. So temp is pointing there right now. Temp previous equals new node. And then we got to do our gymnastics going the other direction. Temp previous next equals head. Does that make sense? We're pointed here, so that's A. B makes us jump over to the new node. C will be the pointer back. And that pointer should be head. Because temp and head are pointing at the same thing. This is like doing what we did with the tail node, just going the other direction. We had to switch the order because we're throwing a rope back the other direction. Does that seem like it tracks? Then we can go temp equals temp previous. And then finally at the end, set head to temp. Once we jump through all the loops. Why not just replace tail with end? Oh, yeah. That's much fucking smarter, V. Yeah, that was a much better answer. I kept going, you were like, I could highlight it one at a time. She's just like, find tail L. Because that was the problem. It was saying tail L. Find and replace tail L. That would have been. Fucking speak up next time, B. God damn it. Let me fucking flounder up here like a moron. All right. So that was to add the head note. So this is what I was writing. So this is what I wrote. Let's see if this works. So we said, did I make a temp dot previous, which used to be a null pointer, is now going to be the new node. And then we do our gymnastics. And we say temp previous, we jump back to the new car and throw a rope forward to our current car. So this is just like tail node, except these two are swapped. Oh, there's one more change. The other one said temp next node, but here we're gonna go temp equals temp previous node. We gotta jump backwards. And now we can set temp name to whatever the fuck we took in. Argan. I'm missing one. No, I'm not. That did that, that did that. Oh. Now I gotta give the previous node for our new head pointer. That. I think that's it.
You set head, set head temp.
Oh, you did it.
Oh yeah, I should do that here. That way it's private. Did I take in a string? I did. Temp dot set head, what am I doing?
I think I just made another temporary node.
Why is it not working? Oh, wait, set head. I know what you're saying. I didn't fuck that shit all up. Let's undo that fucking shit. That is not what set head does. Set head equals temp, or set head temp. That's what's missing. That's what you're trying to say. So we make a make a temp pointer, point it at head. Then we tell our temps previous, like what's behind us, throw something behind us, put out a car behind us, a train car behind us. That's new node. And then we're gonna say, all right, jump back there, throw a rope back forward so it connects to me. There's our gymnastics, there's our boomerang. Then we jump to the previous car. We set the previous car's name. We say its previous node is no pointer, and then we fucking set a flag here. Set head is like fucking stamp, putting the flag in. This is our home base. Let's see if that works. I think that's good. What did I call that? I called it add head node. So after we did all that, let's add head node right here. America is a name that comes before Amtesh. Does it work? Yeah, baby. Look at that beautiful shit. All right, now we got to do this gymnastics. Something similar to what we did with head node. We have to do something similar for body node. So I'm gonna like copy all this shit up there. Oh wait, we don't want set head. Let's see what we edit here. So if the temp is a null pointer, this is where we're starting with an empty node. All we do is arg new, and we don't have a string to be followed. So like, this should still work, even if there's no node there. Like, okay, you told me to add something after something that isn't there. Maybe we should have a cout that says, no entry creating a new list that starts with our new. There was no entry for, there was no entry. All right, okay, so now we need to have temp. We're not doing this gymnastics. Let me get rid of that shit. We'll figure out what we're doing here. Let's go back to the picture for the next part. Let's make a picture. Okay, so we've got Backer and Joan, maybe a new picture. We're in the middle of a link, middle of a list. So we got something coming in here. And there's a pointer going back that way. And there's a pointer going back this way. And let's say this is Baker and this is Jones. Oh, who did I have? I have Bobby and Clarice. This is Bobby. This is Clarice. And I want to add in someone after Bobby. Carrie. That's before Clarice, but after Bobby. So that's what we want to add in. So we should start at head and cycle to Bobby. Cycle temp to Bobby. So that'll get us where we're here. Temp is pointing here. Okay, so we've got a doubly linked list, so we don't have to worry about losing anything at this point. What if I say temp next node equals new, and that'll change this pointer goes over here. I've lost my way to jump forward.
Yeah, I had to make like 2 different nodes.
Let's go past it. Cycle past Bobby. We might have to do 2 nodes. So I'm gonna restart this. Temp is pointing here now. Why don't I do, oh, nope, cycle to Bobby, let's go back, cycle to Bobby. Here's temp again, and we'll say temp next previous equals new. We got to do our gymnastics somewhere if we want to keep one thing there. So this is still in play. That's what gets set there. And now maybe do temp next previous equals temp. Let's see, let me label these. This is A, this is B, this is C, and if this is D, I can go, D is pointing there, I want D to point there. So that one's gone. Now, how do I get B's pointer to point here? Temp dot next equals temp dot next dot previous. So what I'm doing is I'm going A, B, I'm grabbing B's pointer, I'm saying, okay, here's A, here's B, I'm gonna set B, B is getting reset to A, B, C. So B is getting reset to here. This is a lot of gymnastics. This is even more than fucking what we were doing before. Does that kind of make sense?
You run through it.
We can run through it and see if it works, right? Can't hurt to run through it. See if V's got anything to say. Kenny says he likes it. Kenny says it's the best thing he's ever fucking heard. Isn't that right, Kenny? All right, so we're doing here, what did I type? I said temp dot next dot previous equals new node. And then I said temp dot next dot previous equals temp. And then I said temp dot next equals temp dot next dot previous. So I put all the pointers into play. The only thing I haven't done is, well, there's some things I haven't cycled the Bobby yet. But I need to say temp name equals arg name.
Wait, it would be temp.next. Temp.next.
I haven't jumped. Let's jump. Do I even need to jump? I think you're right. Since all I'm doing is temp.name, I can just do temp.next node here. Dot. No need to even jump, but I do need to cycle there. So while temp.name does not equal arg to be followed, temp equals temp.next. So this, it allows us to jump to bottom. You guys think that'll work? Let's try it. This was add body node. Add body node after name. Okay. So my DL. Oop. The name we wanted to add, I wrote Carrie, and we wanted it to follow Bobby. Our list ended. Something's off. Ah! I'm missing an arrow. I could see it in my picture. What about that?
Temp.next.previous is equal to.
I need to do it before I jump, so A, B, C, next. A, B, C, next equals A, B. this has gotta go before we do any jumping. Oh, we didn't ever jump. So I should just be able to add that anywhere. It is like a game of Twister, right? All right, where is my add body? Okay. I need to do it before I jump to the. I need to do it before I change temp's next node. I could change it here though. So I said temp dot next dot previous. That was my ABC. Dot next has to equal temp dot next. There we go. Fixed it. Okay, let's see what you were talking about. I'm a big fan of the tail node. We've got a head node. Why not just make it out of tail node? And we need to expand our default. And we probably need to do some get set for tail. Node pointer, get tail. And node pointer, void set tail. And we're setting a node pointer. Okay, those are my two new ones. I'm gonna come down and set them right here. And we need to scope them. And set tail should be tail equals, tail was an option, right? Yeah. Equals RT. Get tail will we return tail. And now we'll do set tail in our default up here like that. So what things should change if we add a pointer to the last node? I think if we do that, well, each of the add node, well, like add head node, anything where we had to add a node, if there was no node already, we also need to set tail. Like here we had set head temp, here we'll do set tail temp also. This is when we, that was for a fresh node. If there was no node at the head, like if temp equals null pointer, this is our add tail node. We're gonna do set tail equals the temp. And then what else we got here? And we should do set tail equals temp down here too. Because this is the one where we're adding a tail node. So this is where we'll set tail at temp. We don't need anything for add body node, that's in the middle. Unless it's here. Because it's a new node. Each of the ones that have a new node need it. And add head node needs it. That's all our add methods. Print forward doesn't change. Print backwards can change, right?
Yeah, it can start from the head out too.
We can do get tail, right? What changes if we add get change to get tail? Well, the next node should be a null pointer all the time for tail. But the only one it's a null pointer for is previous node. That's the only one. Nope, let's see. If previous node equals null pointer, then we're at the head node, right?
Oh, yeah. So it's not empty, it's just empty.
So that's not even gonna check for empty. I can't check for empty.
What do you have to do?
I could check to see if there's a name. If temp.name is a null. Why is it doesn't like equal? Oh, okay, this is what we do. If temp.next equals null, oops, ptr, and temp.previous.
You might still be at like the one node, right?
Equals null.
You can still have like one node and have both of them be a null.
You're right.
This is tricky. The name would be.
How about just if temp equals null?
Does that?
Will that work?
Yeah. I don't.
Like I didn't try printing in the forward node. Like I did if temp.next node equals null pointer. Yeah, that's doing the same thing as if head is a null pointer, next node is a null pointer. Okay, that's fine. So here, if temp get tail is a null pointer, that still works. How's that different than what I had here? Temp get head. If this is a null, this should just be, that should be that also. I didn't try an empty list. Maybe we need to try a fucking empty list here. Let's fix print backwards though. All right, so We do not need this loop right here. This jumps us to the end of the thing. We just need to start with the print. We've already jumped to the end. So we don't have to jump to the end, we're already at the end. We got rid of that bit. Let's see. That worked. All right, let's check it. Let me do print forward and backwards. While the list is empty. Let me make sure that works. List is empty, list is empty. Okay, that worked. So what we have works now. I think I did most of your work on for one of the fucking assignments. Where's the next assignment? So node pointer last node, we could do that just by returning tail. We did add node and we haven't done the deletes. We haven't done our deconstructor yet either. Let's come over and hijack our deconstructor from our singly linked list. Where was it? We're gonna call it doubly linked list now. And I know I need to add it up top. So maybe I'll go do that real quick. I'll come and edit that. That's the main. That feels like that's node maintenance, so I'll put it there. And we're gonna come down and take a look at that. Okay. Does our method from our singly linked list work for deconstructing? Doubly linked list, temp equals get head, counter equals 1. So we had to do a lot of gymnastics to fucking deconstruct this stuff. What if we just expedite all this shit? That's the important stuff right there. So our important things that we need are temp next node equals null pointer, temp previous node equals null pointer. And then delete temp. That's the important part. What if we just said, fuck all that? Comment it out and we did get tail. I don't even think I need the counter anymore. If I get tail, this is going to change a little bit. So while, if we're working backwards, we're going to go while temp.previous does not equal null. we want to, let's look at our picture. So we got Amitesh, we got Bobby, and we got Clarice. And we got all our pointers going on. And we're at Clarice. And we did temp. Temp equals get tail, so temp is pointed at tail, because that's tail. So maybe something that will help is the first thing I do before I do anything else is I say set tail equals temp previous. Because now I've got a way to jump over here. If I say set tail equals temp previous, now I can go through and I can kill everything on the temp tail. I can say, I don't even need next node. Next node should already be null pointer. No, because we're doing a loop. Because Bobby won't have a next node of null pointer. So like, once I do set tail, this is gone. And I could say temp next and temp previous are null. So that kills this. Nothing pointing out. Then I delete temp, which crosses that motherfucker off. And then I want to do it to Bobby. So I'm going to say temp is get tail. Does that look like a nice deconstructor loop? I start at the end of the train. I say set tail goes to the previous node. I kill the pointers heading out of the node. Then I delete the node. And then I jump to the previous node.
After that, would you set temp.next to null, and then doing that, you don't have to do temp.next in the second one, you're gonna have to set that one equal to null, right?
Say what? Say it again?
So after the very last step, if you were to put, you have to put temp.next equal to null pointer, right?
Yeah. Well, that's going to happen in this line, right? You're right.
Now that we do that, we don't have to do that on the second line, since temp.next will already be null.
Let's put that down here. That's what you're saying. That makes more sense. I like that. I'm excited to be a part of this. All right, let's try that. Let's try what we came up with. I think we just shortened our deconstructor a fucking metric ton. There's a lot of, we had 2 for loops going on to do the deconstructor with the singly linked list. So we said set tail to temp.previous. And then we said temp.previous equals null pointer. And then we said delete temp. And then temp was get tail. And we said temp.next equals null pointer. Maybe we'll throw in here a C out. Deleting node temp.name. Okay, that gets us all the way to the head node. We're at the head node. If we've done this all the way to the head node, the only thing that hasn't been deleted is the head node. The head node's previous node is already null pointer, and this sets head node's pointer to null. So the only thing we haven't done is delete temp. And maybe do cout, one last cout to show that it's doing it. Bam! Look at that. Look at how much our shit changed. We don't need all that anymore. We only need the verification that we're not out of empty list already. If we're out of empty list already, then we quit. Otherwise, there's no for loop or anything like that. We can just jump to the null pointer we start at the end, and we just start killing shit working backwards. So like this entire thing is what deleted the last node. So maybe we could just make a doubly linked list. Delete last, delete end. Oop. And throw that in there. And I need to put this up top. And I need to say void. Put this up top. All the way up here. Oh, I'm missing node pointer tail or temp equals get tail. And then I could just do del and node right in this entire thing. Right? I can comment that out, and I should just be able to say del and node. I think that del and node, I can check it, see if it works if it works on the deconstructor. Nope, something fucked off. So it did them all. When it got to the end, what happened? Come on. I don't need that. Wait. I still need something that stops it. This is when we got down to a dead node. Get tail with a null pointer here. if temp does not equal null pointer. Then we'll do that step. Oh, now it's telling me to fuck off on the other one. How far did we get? Still getting to the end of the list. Hello. I need this up here at the top. And all this goes inside of it. That delete, that says, okay, we're not a null pointer, so we set tail to the previous node. This, do that, and we make the previous node. Yeah, that should track. You just did, motherfucker. It still doesn't like it. Why?
Do we have to update temp in the destructor? Like update it every time to the loop to the next get tail? Maybe. And then-
Well, this is only doing it once, and then the cycle's doing it down here.
Yeah, in the destructor, like in the while loop, do we have to?
So like in the if statement,
No, in the while loop in the destructor,
in the destructor.
do we set temp equal to get tail again in the loop? And do we have to-
Oh, yes. But I don't know, it was, yeah, I think we should. That was it. Fucking Armitage coming in, saving the day. This Jones, I'm coming after your job. You fucking look, you're replaceable, Jones. I don't need your shit. Can't even get it right. That's all I needed.
That's pretty cool.
Isn't that neat? So, I guess most of your work is done now.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Thanks for helping. We even did the node tail. Do a search for. You still need to do the int size, but we already did that for like, that one's fucking easy. It's a fucking counter. Fuck it. Since we already did all the work, we're gonna make this a little more fun. Void, give you something to do, right? Void del node mid. That gives you something new. Now you get to do the paper gymnastics that we were doing in here.
You think you could go over?
We need the our to be, our name to be followed. Name before delete. Or name to be deleted.
Oh,
How's that? Name to del?
delete that. Would it be? So it's just, you're finding a name and then deleting it.
Yeah, delete the node at the name. That'll give it a little challenge, and then do search for. That would help. Something else that's missing. I'm gonna copy this code over into the announcement real quick. But something that's missing, and I thought about it a couple times in it. In our add body node, we need to say if this was never found. So I'm gonna make a little note before I copy it over. You should implement the search for string method and then use it here. And then say like, if the search returns nothing, returns the null pointer, then do a cout and end right away. That's something that should happen in the body node. All right, let me copy this shit all over to the announcement. Why do I have a fucking, what are you doing right there? There's a little fucking semicolon just hanging out.
Control A,
Was it doing something? What?
Control A highlights the entire thing for you.
Control A? That's handy.
Yeah.
That's fucking really handy. Why do you make me do all this shit on my own? The fuck, Juan?
I didn't know.
Lecture day 8, Doubly linked list.
If you want to highlight like certain words, you can also like Control Shift and an arrow to wherever you want to do, and it highlights word for word or whatever. Click arrow again. another word.
Just do a little bit, okay. Okay, here's today's lecture. You can build off of this and update stuff for that homework assignment. I also didn't have any get set methods for the node class, so you probably should do constructors and shit for that. Look at that, 5:03. We're running overtime. That's it. GTFO.
Get the chest club is one.
Yeah, I'll be right over there. Hopefully that wasn't too fast. A little better? Moderate pace? Okay.